Hey everyone. So I would just want to apologize really quick for the technical difficulties we had just a minute ago. Uh, my computer was acting funny. It was distracting me quite a bit, and it kept me from recording the video. So, and then just everything quit. So sorry about that, but we're gonna go ahead and start again. Blake will be joining in just a moment. We're gonna be talking about uh, how to ease your pain using the Enneagram. And when I say how to ease your pain, I'm talking about, like, we all have these things in life that really get us, and they're different for different people. So, you may see someone get in a relationship and they make it to a point or an extent where something happens and everything just kind of hits for them. Their feelings hit, something hits, their fear. They don't want to get too involved. I don't know what it is, but something hits, and maybe it pressures them. Maybe they start to lash out. Maybe they just seclude themselves completely. It's like, whatever it is, it's something that they're dealing with, and they have a mechanism or a strategy to handle that feeling. And so when it comes to the Enneagram, it's really interesting because it's really helped me. Uh, it's really helped me with understanding what exactly we're doing here, what exactly I'm trying to help other people with. When other people have problems and they have issues and they come to me to solve them, they're going to need, my friends, a lot of my friends, and I'm sure you guys have friends that they depend on your support. And so for me, when they come up to me and they say, like, I don't know why I'm acting this way, or I don't know why I'm so upset, or hey, I'm really upset, or whatever it is, they seem like there's something that has made their behavior a little bit different. Maybe you even had a friend yourself and you got to a point where with that friend, there was like I'll just go ahead and stop. Hey, how's it going, Blake?
Hey there, what you talking about?
Oh, well, I just got into with relationships in Enneagram, how things tend to play out. So what I was just starting to talk about was that in a relationship, you may see someone's behavior quite a bit, and it may be a certain way, and then it may completely change in a different situation. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's not what you expected from that person whatsoever. So what I was just going to say is that a lot of times it's because um, it's hit them personally. It's hit them somewhere where it hurts. And a lot of times, like, when it comes to our personality and the ego, and we look at the ego and what it's doing for us, it's attempting to make a personality as this, it's like this big strategy to feel loved, to feel like you have attained love, or that you have the life that you want, or whatever it is. And all the things we do, they're for very good reasons, to feel like we're good people, to feel that we have good people in our lives, and different things like that. We'll do things. Our personality is it's really just this, it's attempting to help us with that. And so a lot of times when something happens to trigger something that it's our connection to love. So it's kind of like it's got a positive and negative associated with it. So I may go uh, like, it's kind of like saying I get love from this, but this kind of sucks, but I still feel loved from it, right? So something like that. That's the kind of vibe I'm trying to give off here, is that it's not necessarily something that we can consider as like really good, but it's something that you're feeling love from. So here's a good example. Let's say that you're in a working situation, right? And I think a lot of people encounter this, and they want to do the work and they want to do good work. But what happens is they don't do the work because when they do work, they're not appreciated, or no one tells them that they're appreciated. So what the person does is they stop working, and this is all subconscious. This is all to feel good. This is all for love. They subconsciously, they're waiting for that person to come up to them and say, hey, I need you because you mean a lot to me, like, and the team, like, we need your help. We need you to do this project. We need you to get this done. And it's because the person themselves wants some kind of compliment, some kind of you have worth, you have value, you mean a lot to us. And that's what they've been wanting. And so they haven't been working, and they don't know why. It's like, man, why don't I want to work? Like, why I want to work, but why am I not working? Why do you not feel this drive towards that work? And I think a lot of times it has to do with something of the sort. So that's just something that I've observed, and it's something that we all struggle with in different ways. So do you think, Blake, that you yourself, being a type 3, have dealt with shame in a similar way, and like pushing that shame off of yourself, and or not doing something because you wanted to feel like you had some kind of competence or something? Anything? Nothing comes to mind. That's fine.
Oh, what?
I was asking you. I was asking you. Yeah, no, I was asking if you personally, man, you were like, this intuitive is going nuts. No,
Yes.
I was asking if you felt shame and deflected it onto anyone, or maybe even maybe you felt that shame and it was keeping you from doing something or anything like that. Just is there anything that you felt like you were inherently flawed as a person, and you felt like you had to deal with that feeling, and it maybe led you to negative actions?
Yeah. When I'd fear failure, sometimes I'd want to go in the opposite direction. Not do nothing, but run away from it.
Yeah, not running away from it, maybe even going straight after it. Oh, and I totally forgot. Blake, why don't you tell everyone your Enneagram type and your tri-type?
Yeah. Enneagram type 3. Tri-type 378.
Awesome.
Depending on how cloudy the day is.
For me, I'm a type 512. Tri-type the mentor. Blake's tri-type's name is the mover shaker. So if you guys have any questions, by the way, or any thoughts or comments, go ahead and put them in the live chat. Sorry once again, if you guys didn't see it, we had some technical difficulties. Really, my computer was all messed up, and eventually just shut down all of Hangouts, and it just messed everything up. So once again, I apologize for that, but we're back on, and I'm ready for this discussion. So this personally was a really cool discovery of the Enneagram. This was something that I just hit one day. Like, I remember I was thinking about a few situations that that actually they were pretty personal, but I started thinking about them a lot, asking myself, that person was just dealing with this feeling, and what did I do? Because personally, with me, when they put that feeling onto me, I felt like I was flawed, and feeling that I was flawed hurt me. So for me, I dealt with that by making the other person fear me. How did I do that? Mainly, I just invalidated their arguments, just like pushed all this like aggression onto them. And it wasn't like physical aggression. It's more like I was just pushing on all this, like, you probably shouldn't have even ever tried to combat me or ever tried to say that I did anything wrong or something like that. Because for me, I just felt like I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was just like an NI moment. It was a total NI moment. Just out of nowhere, I realized that I was only contributing to their hurt, and it was because I felt hurt. And so this is when I realized that I was actually becoming a huge problem in this entire situation. And so what I started to do was recognize that a proper way to handle it is completely by directing towards that person and saying that this person right here, there's nothing wrong with you. I appreciate that you're here. I appreciate everything you do. Like whatever it is, you try to find what it is that they're worried about, that they're struggling with internally. You're not always going to know, but there's going to be a chance you're going to be able to figure it out. I've had a good feeling before about what's going on. Who knows? Maybe it's an eye. Maybe, it's not that easy to see. I don't know. I didn't see it every time, but a lot of times it requires a lot of thought, and I go through it and I say, I think this person felt this way, and all I did was combat them, and I find myself combating everybody, and I realize how aggressive I'm being, and I'm not even a very aggressive person. Like I look at myself, I'm a very chill, relaxing person. Someone said it on the last live call. They were like, man, Trey, you give off such chill vibes, man. And that's true. I'm a very chill person, but in a situation where I'm being attacked or where I feel that there's something wrong with me, I can become very aggressive, not physically necessarily, just, in a conversation or in an argument. And so it's just important, because if I can recognize that I'm the one that feels the need to defend myself, then I can say, no, no, no. Here's the thing. That's what's causing the problem, is that they're not attacking me. They're just hurt. And the attention now goes to them. And I can now appreciate them and everything that they're feeling, and attempt to help them in any way I can. So yeah, Blake, what do you think about all this? You think you have any questions, or I want to get some perspectives, because this is a new idea I'm tossing around.
Well, it definitely needs bullet points, and you need to map it out and draw it. It's kind of hard to follow. No offense.
No, I understand. No, it's cool. Actually, I should probably make it a lot easier to understand. So the idea is just that everyone's feeling pain. Everyone around you is feeling pain. And when you come at them and you're feeling this pain and you want to let it go, you don't want to feel that pain. I don't want to feel that pain. Nobody wants to feel this pain. They're dealing with it somehow. A lot of them are just deflecting it off of themselves. That's why we have such angry people in society today. They're just hurt. And they walk around and they feel this struggle, whatever it is. Maybe it's their character, maybe it's their security, maybe it's whatever it is. There's something they're worried about, and they walk around, and then at some point Damon said, they just flick it, and then it just explodes, and it all comes out. And when it comes out, they're deflecting it off of them, because they're feeling the pain too. You have to recognize they're feeling that pain. They're trying to get rid of it. So when they push it on you, the first thing you should think is, like, if this is how it feels for this pain to be on, like this pressure to be on me, then I can only imagine how it feels to be on them all the time. See what I mean? Because
Yeah.
just imagine it's all bottled up, and then it all hits you. It's been hitting them this whole time. And so really, you have to try your best to see where this person is hurting. So I got someone asking a question. Hey man, this is Tony. Explain the difference between Enneagram 5 and 6, how they process guilt. Okay, so guilt, I don't know about guilt necessarily. They deal with fear. So the way that a 5 deals with fear is mainly just understanding all of it. A 6 kind of like does a weird, like, the way that I think a 6 handles things, which is actually really cool, because I think it means sense. Okay, he meant fear. So the way that a 6 handles fear is they seem to look at something, and if it hits enough of the requirements, it's almost like they have a whole list of things that could be messed up about the situation or gone wrong. And I do something similar. When they do that, they go, okay, if this list is high enough, like, I'm not going to take part at all. Because I think a 6 realizes that they're not always right about this stuff, just as everyone does. And so for a 6, I think a lot of times they just go, okay, yeah. This person is most likely not going to do this. They might. This person might do this, but I don't want to ever be there if this person does this. So it's just like if enough things stack up, they're like, no, I'm not even going. I'm not even going to go do that, whatever it is. So for a type 5, I think I'm more like, is this likely to happen or is it not? And the thing is, if, for me at least, if, like, just the other day, I made a judgment call. I was doing some activity, and then I said, will this person get upset if I do that? And I was like, you know what? I don't know, but let's just go ahead and try it and see if they do or not. Because the thing is, if I do that, then I'll learn that they do get upset about that kind of thing. So so then I'll understand that this person gets upset about that kind of thing, and I can move forward. So so that's a good thing. I think that when a 6 has an experience, it really ignites the rest of their decisions, I think. And I think that happens for all of us, but with a 6, it's interesting because if it's really messed up, like if a 6 goes through some really messed up stuff, then they're going to look at a lot of other things, and their number of things that I talked about earlier, like they have to have a long list of things that could go wrong, and then they'll go like, no, I'm not going. So it would be even longer. Sorry, it would be even shorter, and they'd say, oh no, I don't want to go, if they had some really messed up stuff happen to them. Do you think these realizations about your ego's defense mechanisms are based more on cues received from the opposite party, visible sadness, frustration, or originate from within? So I just have a question about that, Jay. When you say that, are you talking about me and my ego defenses? Because that's what it seems like. Are you asking if I realize it in myself or realize it from the people outside of me? Yeah, so I mean, the main point, and I'll go over a few things about Enneagram while we're on the call, but the main point here is that I just want to go over and answer questions that you guys may have. I want to video specifically about the issues we have with people's defense mechanisms. They just want to feel loved. And I mean, thing is, it's really crazy because when I had this realization when I was just doing my own thing, and I kind of attached it to reality because I had the idea in my head, and when it hit reality and I saw it, it it uh it just it was corny to me. I was like, oh, the answer is like love, like what? Didn't make any sense. Like, why? You know, it made some sense. I mean, it makes Sammy. It makes some sense, but it didn't make enough sense for. It was weird that I came to a logical conclusion that the answer was love for like a lot of conflicts and stuff. But truthfully, it is, and I think I'll just go ahead and roll with Jay's original question about the ego defense mechanisms. Um, I realize it more in myself. When I see the other person, a lot of times when people attack me or something, I've tried my best to do things that will not get people attacking me. So, and when I say attacking, I don't mean physical, but just
Not like
verbally.
how Sammy's attacking whatever that is over there.
Yeah, that's a bone.
Oh, okay.
He was getting that thing, man. That is a cute dog, though. I'll bring him over here later, but but no, it's just people verbally attacking, and for me, when I see someone verbally attacking, I don't. I've been like, what the heck? What went wrong? Because literally, I've been thinking about how this stuff could go wrong, and I've been fixing it. Like, um, a lot of times, like I'm pretty clear-headed, but like when something happens, it's a conflict. I think about how far that conflict could pan out, and then if I think that I can handle the conflict just fine, then I'll be like, all right, whatever. I'll let go. So I'm thinking about the worst possible situation. Okay, cool. Moving on. And I just noticed that about myself. It took me a while to see that, but so for other people, when they come up to me and they're releasing these frustrations on me, the first thing I try to do is invalidate them. So with all the models I have about Enneagram and the ego and enlightenment and all that put together, like consciousness and all that, just all put together, I look at it and I'm like, that person is hurt. That's the only reason. It's not that they're invalidated. It's actually that I just validated what they did to me. I invalidated my own action because I should not have done that to them. Now, in the same way, though, my action made some valid sense because I felt the pressure as well. But personally, I don't see that as valid because I want to be able to fix it. I want to be able to make things better. So when I look at these questions, yeah, it does come from within, basically. I think it was sparked by people with outside of me, but what if love comes from materialism? I don't know how love could come from materialism.
Hold on.
That sounds like, yeah.
Who said this?
I mean, I'm not bashing their idea, but I'm just gonna let you know what I thought.
I'm not either.
When you said that. When you said, "What if love comes from materialism?" I literally saw an object like an apple in front of a man, and the apple was giving the man love, just loving the man. And I was like, if objects can give love, that is incredible. So no, but I do know what you mean. Like people feel like feel good and stuff from having things, but I don't know. I don't think it's the same. I don't think that's the same at all, especially when you criticize yourself so much. You should giving yourself a break is important. For me, I felt a lot of pressure on myself a long time. And I just recently started giving myself a break and saying, look, I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to think about all the things I did wrong. I mean, look, I've been doing that my whole life and it sucks. So it's just nice to relax. And I've just noticed it makes things a little bit better. So now if you give yourself too much credit, I don't know how to handle that. I have to think about that. But sorry, I'm just reading these messages in the chat. So Blake, will you let me know and put in the chat in our Google Hangouts if there's a question? Just watch that for me. It'd be nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So I mean, yeah. So that's the main idea. It's just that recently, when I had that realization, I went back through time and started thinking about my past quite a bit, and then some things came up, and it was very very revealing because there's a lot of things in my past that I've thought I handled well. I've thought about all the different ways to handle it, and I concluded that this was the best way to handle this part of my life, and it wasn't. And now that I see the right way to handle it, I still have no understanding of how to go about it. But that comes later. This is just the initial idea. So the initial idea being that when I have an issue with someone or something, the primary thing I need to do is just, as corny as it sounds, you just need to love them, because most people are feeling that frustration because of some issue. And it's not always love. With the heart group, that's more likely. For the head types, it's more likely that they are afraid of security. And so I think that a lot of times they worry about things that they don't need to worry about. So when I said it's just love, it's not necessarily just love, but the fact that someone would come up and say, look, you don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's taken care of. That's not going to happen. You know what I mean? These are things that can help that type relax. And I think that's a loving act, just that itself. But then with the body types, they deal with anger. The body types deal with anger. I think a lot of the body types have I don't know. They're interesting. I might have to think about them a lot more. I think my first thought, and I'm just going to say it because I want you guys to hear what I was thinking, was that the type 8 deals with having a lot of issues with people because of the power struggles and stuff, uh, power dynamics. I think that type 8 really just wants good people that they can trust, and type 9 is similar. The type 9 just wants everyone to get along, everything to be great. Type 1 being very moralistically focused. So I think it's more about themselves, making sure that they are ready for everything that's going on around them. I actually think the body types have a pretty interesting social aspect to them. Like, you're being loud. Oh, like if you have any thoughts, I want you to jump in. All right, so let's look through these. Are Enneagram 7s at the highest risk of taking their anger out on others? No, because 7 isn't even in the anger sector, so I wouldn't say that. I think that 8 is, but probably I don't want to talk about health levels of Enneagram because it gets confusing, but and people would say no, it's simple, but the thing is it doesn't mesh with everything else, so I don't like to talk about it because it confuses me. But if we do look at the health levels alone, Enneagram 8s at a very bad health level, they do take their anger out on others. And I think that we all take our anger out on others and our feelings out on others. For myself, in an argument or debate or conversation, I think that I'll release my own fear because I'll let you guys know something just because like it's great for the call. letting out, like, it's like stabbing myself and letting myself bleed so you guys have good content. um no, but I actually have a fear of people. Yeah, I have been trying to figure out how to handle talking to people for a long time, and I started to recognize that I had a fear probably a month or two ago. I didn't like consciously know I had a fear, but it was running in the background all the time. I thought I was one of the most relaxed people, like I had no fear. And then Damon and I started talking about Enneagram 5, and he's like, "You deal with fear somehow." And I was like, "I don't feel afraid." Right? So I started investigating myself and watching my thoughts a little bit closer, asking myself, what are you afraid of? Are you wait, in that situation, were you afraid of something? Like I was really observing myself, and I came to this interesting conclusion. You guys are gonna like think, what the heck? But it's good stuff. So basically, if someone bumps into me, right, and they look pissed off, or just like something happens where there's a social situation where they cause like where I could be blamed for something, I immediately go to like the worst situation. Like, I think if we were in court, like seriously, and I'm like, I'm not laughing when I'm like doing this, like I will like have a conflict with someone at work. Like I'll do something and they'll get mad and I'll like say something, walk off, and then right then I'm thinking, okay, look, in that interaction, did they have enough to charge me with anything or win against me in court with anything? Like I think about it all, like, do they have a better argument than I do if we went to court? And I think about it, and then if I think I have the better argument, then I go, okay. And then I stop thinking about it. Unless I think that, I'm about to bump into the person again or something else is going to happen afterwards. I'll think about that a little bit. But once that's all thought about, like, I'm good. I'm ready. So if it comes up, I can confront the situation having already thought it out. So it actually makes me afraid of interacting with people. So that is showing how I deal with fear. Um, And I have been trying to relieve myself of that fear for a long time. And I can see how I'm doing it now, studying this psychology stuff so intensely. And every interaction that everyone is doing around me, I'm like trying to apply it to this understanding I have so that I can understand how to control this like social situation so that I don't have to worry about it. But it
Let's
makes
bring
no
up
sense. Huh?
I wanted to bring up a recent experience where I noticed Trey was doing some in-depth analysis of his surroundings, of the people in his surroundings. It was at a New Year's celebration in the heart of Austin, Texas. He was sitting on the outside of a dance floor, just observing, sitting in a chair and observing interactions, and occasionally me too. But anyways, what's something that you notice, particularly in the nightclub scene? And I'm just bringing this up because it's an entertaining story, and it's it helps people put themselves in your shoes a little bit more.
Yeah, so actually that's a pretty good interesting thing to bring up because I actually want to talk about this like in this call. Yeah, no, so there's something interesting about I don't necessarily agree with all that with that whole lifestyle, but I'm not a part of it, so I
Oh
just
no, I don't either. As a matter of fact, that entire morning that I was hanging out with those, uh, well,
like
hanging out with people,
departed nuts with everybody.
yeah, I couldn't really find much to talk about because I was thinking about what we had learned the past couple days, and these people were just really into that zone of like wake up, party, go eat, trivial, superficial, all this stuff, and it was yeah, interesting. Wow, Tony, that's great.
Yeah, you know what's funny, guys, is while we're talking about this in the chat, everyone's talking about casual sex. No, it's on topic. Like if you go back, like it actually makes
Guys,
sense.
it's not on topic. I don't know
No,
what you're
it
talking
is.
about.
It is because they're talking about back when I was talking about materialism, they were thinking that love and materialism, like they were thinking like we're talking about sex. So basically, when I said love, people were thinking sex, or some people were thinking sex. We're questioning if it was sex, and so now they're all talking about casual sex, and whether or not it's good or bad. And I'm pretty sure they're all concluding it's not that great.
Tony
So
said he was getting guilty the next day.
I don't want to talk about Tony's stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, not
that's not the purpose of this call.
yeah, no, but I will talk about that one thing though.
Yeah, please.
For the situation where I'm watching everybody at the nightclub, that always reminds me every time I like go to any kind of club or anything like that, and I just like watch everybody. Really, high school too. I just watch them, and I'd be like, "What are you guys doing?" And it always reminds me. It seems to remind me of the same thing, and that is when I was younger. I used to think that all these people were like I didn't get it. Like I was so like okay, I never actually concluded like a belief like oh dude like everyone's like I'm in a computer simulation or somebody's testing me. Like I never came up with this like grand theory, but I was so confused because I was placed in a spot where I would ask someone a question and because I wanted to know why they were doing this thing, like what motivated them to do this or whatever. Like I just wanted to know. And these people were answering like really like all across the board the same answers. And I would ask more and they would go in circles and in loops and they would avoid or it wasn't like avoidant. I don't know what it was. It was so weird and it was always the same. So I started to believe that like these people, they were always answering the same and I never got it. And I never really felt there was real humanity in people. And I would come across people who really started to show me that, like show me the life in people. And then, learning all I've learned from here and all this put together just kind of taught me that really it's just that these people are,
Some people are dead before they're pronounced dead, before they're put
it's
into
just
the
that they,
grave, man.
yeah, maybe they just all died and now they're at nightclubs. No, they're not dead, but um, they're all just really feeling pain. And I have a pretty good example of um, of this next concept that I haven't even introduced yet, so I don't know why I'm. Point is, what's interesting is it seems like all these people are going to the internet now, and they're finding the same defense mechanisms. They're going, oh, like I feel this hurt, I feel this pain, I need to get rid of it. So they go to the internet and they literally find, on accident, they find solutions to these problems. And I'll just give you an example of a really simple one. I was at school one day, and this kid was like, the teacher was talking about like clubs that you can join or something. And this kid, he was sitting down, and she mentions a club, and he goes, "What's that club? I've never even heard of that." And someone goes, "Are you kidding me?" And he's like, "What?" And they were like, "You were like president of that club last year, and you won $100 from them, right?" And he didn't remember it. And I actually relate to him because I don't remember that stuff very easy either. But I don't know, just like when that happened, there was pressure on him. He didn't remember the club or whatever, and so everyone's laughing, and he feels pressure, and so his response was, "Oh, I've slept since then. What, you expect me to remember that?" And I'm like, where have I heard that before? I've seen it all over the internet. I've heard many, many, many other people say it. It like, I remember before I saw people in class saying it or around me saying it, I saw it on the internet. So I'm recognizing here, okay, these people are going to the internet and recognizing that these are default answers, like, "Oh, I just woke up. You expect me to remember that?"
Oh
Like,
crap, Trey, you're getting into this.
oh
This is
yeah.
like your number one subject. That basically all teenagers are the makeup of memes and stuff they find on the
uh,
internet.
yeah. I remember, yeah, no, like I remember sitting in class one day, and I know we're getting a bit off topic. I'll wrap around. But I remember sitting in class one day, and there was a conversation going on, and I knew what they were talking about because it was all reference to, like, they'd say like, "What are those?" and like all these memes and stuff, right? And so I remember going, okay, I'm going to completely blind myself from the information about memes and all this other stuff, right? So I just completely closed it off. And when I looked around me and I was listening to them, it made no sense. They were talking about, "What are those?" and like all these other memes that I can't remember because it was a while back, but all these other memes going on at the time, and it made no sense. None of their sentences made it. I could not draw any conclusions, like, and I was looking at it from a perspective of not knowing what these things were. And I was like, this makes no sense. And then later I realized that the only reason they're actually able to hold a conversation like this is because everyone looks at the same internet. So they all understand the same things. They all look at the same things, right? So oh, Damon's in the chat now. Oh, god damn. No, but um point was, everyone
Oh,
looks at the same internet, so they can all use the same memes and they all can communicate to each other. It was really weird. I was like, what? This isn't even real conversation. And
that's basically how you excel in the high school social game. You just no memes. That's all it takes.
yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, when I was in my senior year, I excelled in this huge popularity contest for like a month or two, and then I was like, I'm sorry, this is getting too dumb. And then I dropped out. And I just didn't care anymore. And I was like, I'm done with it. So for for going back to Enneagram, which it's gonna be a long route back, but uh basically we've got people who they're giving these programmed responses back, right? They seem like programmed responses, like they're always the same, and it's from memes and the internet and all this stuff. It's like they just look up. They don't even have to think about their own excuses anymore because they just can go to the internet now, and the internet provides it for them, like in their Instagram feed. So now they get these excuses or these explanations as to what they're dealing with. So, for example, remember what club I was in last year. Now everyone's laughing at me. Ooh, what am I going to use? I'm going to use that one right there. And I'm not trying to make fun of, I know it sounded like I was making fun of the person. I'm not, because I understand what's going on. Uh, my tone of voice sounded like I was making fun of him. I'm not. But I'm looking at Instagram and I'm going, okay, so I've got this excuse I can use. Oh, I've slept since then, so I'm not going to remember it. So he didn't even come up with that. He got that from the internet, right? So now everyone's going to the internet for this stuff. They don't actually have to think to create these excuses that are protecting their feelings. So their ego is actually being created by the internet. Isn't that scary? So now everyone's personality and the things that are supposed to make them unique and different, it's heading more in a direction of being almost completely synthetic. But that's way too far. Let's go back. um, um, Blake, did you freeze or are you just making a weird face? I think Blake froze. Okay, that's good because I thought he was looking at me like I was crazy. And I was like, am I crazy? I have to check myself. But no, point is, I got through all of that just to say that we all have these defense mechanisms that we're putting up. And truthfully, I have them. I'm afraid. I have a fear. I don't want people to attack me aggressively. I don't want people to make me feel like I'm a horrible person. So I fear these situations and I think them through so that they never happen. But the thing is, those things are actually happening. I'm actually in my head, those things are playing out and I'm feeling the frustration in my head from that situation. So I'm actually creating something that should never exist in the first place. Actually, I'm actually making all this happen so I don't have to worry about it. I actually think out situations that will never happen so that if they ever do happen, I don't have to think about it. So let's say there's a job interview that I want to go to and I have bad history. Like one of my friends is a manager there or someone that used to be my friend. And I'm thinking about a certain situation that I don't want to happen. So I think about it a lot and think about how I should go about it and I solve it and then whatever. But I'm doing all this so I don't have to worry about it. So when I go in, I'm prepared. I can just handle the situation perfectly. The issue is that I'm worrying about it, that I am afraid and I spend time worrying about it. So the whole point of thinking about it was so that I didn't have to worry about it. But I'm worrying about it, and so I'm thinking about it so that I don't have to worry about it. So, sorry, Tony, can you repost your question because I've been going on a rant for a while. But so that's the main point is that right here, what I'm doing is I'm actually creating this issue where I'm still worrying about it. And it's because we have these feelings that we're dealing with. And I think that we're very critical on our own selves, and that's a big part of it. That's a big issue and all of it together. Blake, you are pretty into personal development. So if you want to talk about criticizing yourself really quick, it'd be nice.
Criticizing myself, like, what do you mean?
Well, the thing is, like, I want to offer a different perspective because I'm saying that criticizing yourself is not good. But if you are in the personal development sector, you may say that, you need to criticize yourself to
Yeah, I walk around like a
maybe
monk in the
encourage
Black
yourself.
Plague with a whip. Okay?
What?
That makes any sense. What? Okay, you might not have got that reference. Yeah, man, I gotta criticize myself. It's the only way well, I mean, in a constructive way. I'm like, how could I have done this better? Could I have handled the social situation in a better way? Not like as in a criticizing myself like, hey, I'm never gonna do this. Or I'm never gonna reach my goals, or something terrible happens and it's all my fault. I'm not like, oh man, I'm worthless. I'll never amount to anything. None of my goals go right. I just like have totally shut down that voice. It only comes up on special occasions. Combination of toxicity. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. I think that I think it is important to I agree with you to criticize yourself, but not necessarily criticizing yourself. Probably more like motivating or encouraging yourself, like because that's really the feelings that propel you forward. I'd say that that's probably good.
Oh, okay. Okay, but I'm curious is because my buddy, Xavier, Enneagram 7, wouldn't you say?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I
He's
haven't
got
thought
7 in
about
his
it.
tri-type.
I have to think about it for a while.
Well, anyways, let's talk about Enneagram 7s because
Probably 9.
I would say that they're do what?
He's
Probably
probably a
9.
9. Yeah. Hold on really quick. We got a lot of questions that I've
Oh
not
gosh.
on purpose been ignoring. So everyone wants Enneagram 7 really bad. So dealing with pain as an Enneagram 7. Okay, let me check on something really quick to answer that question. I want to make sure that I have my knowledge straight. My computer is not working very well, so I'm just gonna use my phone. So I'm actually gonna read it to you guys as I look at it because it's probably the best way to do it. Basically gonna go to Enneagram website and look at the Enneagram Institute. If you guys don't go there, it's probably like one of the simplest ways to look at the Enneagram. It's a very clean website too, so I kind of like it. But all right, so type 7 is dealing with what feeling? I can't even see it. All right, dealing with type 7 is dealing with fear, just like all the other ones in the head type. But I'm gonna get more specific. Sorry for the wait, guys. All right, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. All right. Okay. So really primarily the main way to solve that problem is just to attack, not to attack, to love, right? That's the main issue with each type. But for the type 7, their basic fear is of being deprived and in pain. So for a type 7, they just don't want to be deprived. They don't want to be hurt. Their desire is to be satisfied and content to have their needs fulfilled. And this is all coming from Enneagram Institute, just by the way. So if their basic desire is to be satisfied and to be content to have their needs fulfilled, then truthfully, they're probably, if that's their fears of being deprived and in pain, they're probably worrying about being deprived and in pain. So if you can see what area of their life, or if it's you personally, what area of your life that you are afraid of being deprived or afraid of feeling pain, then you can take those situations and give them a little bit more love. And it's a little bit hard to explain. I have to give you my example, because when I personally, when I had my situation, when I was thinking about all these different possibilities, what could go wrong, I just said, look, Trey, you don't have to worry about it. All right. Like, it's not that big a deal, because I try to put myself in perspective and I try to look at things in a different light. I say, look, truthfully, what am I afraid of? And I look at it from an objective standpoint. I try my best to anyways. And I say, I mean, if this person gets upset at me, that's fine. They're going to get upset at me. What can I do to prevent that? Maybe I can just tell them I appreciate them and that I should have told them that sooner. I mean, it's really simple. It's, I want to give you guys a really complicated, detailed, awesome explanation, but really it's not that hard. Really, it's all about just appreciating the people around you. And when it comes to yourself, you have that feeling that I don't want to be deprived. I don't want to feel pain. So I'm afraid of that. So I'm going to try my best to make sure that everything's good, right? So if that's what you're afraid of, Man, he's loud chewing on that bone. Um, but if that's what you're afraid of, then instead of planning out all the ways not to make that happen, I think it's important just to make sure that you feel, make sure that you give yourself that kind of attention, that kind of love. It's just like me, what am I afraid of? I think about what is it from my childhood maybe that makes me afraid of this now, and that's probably the best way. I'd say that's the answer. It just took me a bit to conjure it up. Um, he's probably helped. He's a good distraction. But I think that when it comes to every situation that I've had so far, I ask myself, what is it from my personal life that would make me fear not having enough? And I mean, I'm a type 5, so I'd have to go look at what it is just as a just to remind myself. But for me, I mean, it depends on the situation. I'll take the situation and say, why do I feel this way? And I'll try to find something in my past that maybe correlates to that, maybe correlates to me and what I wanted as a kid. Maybe I wanted some kind of attention. I wanted some kind of love and I didn't get it. So what was it that I was missing? And I just recognize that that's the case. And I try to love myself, try to say, look, it's okay. Almost like I imagine a situation where I'm appreciating myself, or there's someone there for me, or something's happening that's better than it was before. And it gives me a better feeling about it. And then I stop thinking about the entire thing and I move on. So that's how I handle it. And I think that with type 7s, they can do it the same way. It's really just about referencing back to your past. So when imagine a time when you felt like you were in pain, or like you felt like you were deprived. And why did you feel that way? Was someone not watching out for you? What was it? And try to find those answers. I can't necessarily give you an answer just straight up. And that's why, it took me a minute to conjure it up because I was having a hard time. But I can't just give you a straight up answer because it depends on the person, it depends on the situation, really. So it's a bit difficult just to say, oh yeah, like here's your guide to making yourself feel amazing every day. I can't do that. I don't have the news anchor hair, and I'm not muscular whatsoever. I do have a really awesome dog back here, but I can't give you a individualized answer, but I can give you a generic answer and probably give you more detail once I've done it more myself, because I've been doing it in the back of my mind for like a week now, but it's just been a week. I've been doing less advanced versions much earlier than that, but I haven't even had a chance to look at what I'm doing and ask myself how it's working. So I'll definitely have to give you guys some more information on that in the future, and I do promise that will come in the future. But right now, my current issue is just that I'm diving into this whole situation myself. For type 7, it's really just look up your core fear. Look up what it is. If you don't actually relate to it, you may be a different Enneagram type. I don't know. I'm not going to make you guys all doubt your Enneagram types because that would be chaos. It seems to happen a lot. But I think it's important because if you think that you don't have the right type, or if you're doubting your type, then you need to find what it is that you are primarily feeling. What is it that you are primarily afraid of? And originally I was actually just looking at the traits of each type to figure out what my type was, right? I thought this type is this way, this type is that way, so I am type 5. But I shouldn't have gone about it that way. I should have gone more about the fear and examined myself and done it with each type, thought about it. But I still think I got the right type 5. But I definitely should have gone the other way around. So Blake, any thoughts?
Hey, no. My mind's blank. Oh, never mind. I got a dog, Bill Cat.
Yeah, this is Sammy, guys. Just because he's been in the background this whole time. He's got a wet
What's
beard.
Sammy's type?
What's Sammy's type? He's he's either a type 5 or a type 6. Yeah, no.
It's a phobic 6.
I mean, look at him. He looks a little bit afraid, but I don't know. I think he's at peace with everything right now. Yeah, no, Sammy's the man. Hold on, Sammy, I'll make you more comfortable. Yeah, no, Sammy's one of the best dogs in the world. I know we're going off topic, but I love this dog. So no, I think like I said originally, we're all just trying to get through our own problems, our own emotions, our own pain, our own individual conflicts as children, whatever it is. And I know that me personally, when I started getting a good perspective of all this stuff, I started attaching it to my own life and saying, dang, like, oh, it just really uncovered part of my past that I never thought would change, that I thought that it was going to remain that way forever. And it's made me reevaluate a lot of life decisions. So I think that truthfully, can't give you guys all the answers right now, but I can say that if you guys take the information from the video and you just start applying it in your life and saying, okay, what is it that I'm afraid of? Why did I lash out at this person in response to this other person lashing out to me? Like it makes sense. Like in the moment, you're like, yeah, whatever. You're just like, this makes sense. Like there's no problem with it, like there's no problem with lashing out at this person because they just did it to me. So they deserved it, or I deserved it, or I don't know, whatever happened. So it makes sense. But if you think about it and you say, okay, but why did I feel the pressure, and why did I feel the need to lash back out at them, and what pressure did I put on them after I did that? And even then, like you can't necessarily look at the other person and say, oh yeah, you know what, they deserve that pressure though, because at the same time you felt the pressure and you probably didn't want it either. And I don't think a lot of you are like that, because I think a lot of you are at a different stage in life where you're not going to necessarily look at other people and just say that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that it's been really nice to flesh out my ideas. And I really went in a weird direction. I mean, remember when I was talking about how memes control everyone's personality now? I don't even know how I got there. I haven't even been thinking about that stuff. But it was interesting. It was all.
You never got to the story of the club. Did you ever finish that up, or
Yeah, I was
maybe
just
off
talking
topic?
about how, like, usually when I'm like looking at people in a club or something like that, it always reminds me of the same stuff. And it takes me back to like the same responses that people give me every time. And I realize that they're just in pain. The same
I was in pain.
defense mechanism. You were in pain. Is that why you were at the club? Turned into like some kind of weird love story song. Was there a girl at the bar?
There was.
Oh no. Yeah, so definitely. I'm looking forward to doing this topic with everyone later in the future. Damon, Blake, Daniel. I don't necessarily know where Daniel's at, but I appreciate you guys joining. Appreciate getting to flesh out some of my ideas and all that stuff. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and before you leave, one last thing I got to show you. The Enneagram shirt.
Oh man, that is yeah. Start talking again.
The Enneagram shirt is currently out on MBTV's website. We actually added some more features on the back. You'll have to go see it. This model doesn't have it. This is the sample that they sent us before we created the final product. The final product, it's got the 9 types on the back. It's pretty cool. And Trey wishes he had one right now, but
yeah, I need to buy one. No, but definitely,
it's really soft.
That shirt right there, that's the dark alternative shirt we made. It's actually supposed to
yeah.
If you guys think it looks extremely extreme, it's because when we made it, that was the fullest intention. But I think that's because personally, I think it's a really cool shirt. I'm gonna wear that shirt, and I know that a lot of people won't be willing to wear that shirt, but I think it's great. We have a more relaxed version, and it's not straight up black, so it's not gonna look like you're, worshiping the devil. But
It's not like you just got done with the Blood on the Dance Floor, Panic at the Disco type concert or some deal like that. You don't need to go get, back to MySpace in 2006 and try to find a hairstyle.
Oh man, Blake, people are calling you out, bro. They're like, did you wear a button up just for the big reveal?
Actually, no. I had the shirt. I didn't even have the shirt on before the button up. To be honest, I closed the camera, put the shirt underneath it, because I forgot this was an Enneagram live stream, and I wanted it to be cool.
People are like, Enneagram team, assemble! No, you know what's funny is that we actually have different colors of the Enneagram shirts that are much like lighter colors, so it won't be as dark like this one. I mean, now that you say that, it's like it's like Power Rangers. We could all like get like different colored Enneagram shirts. We could be Power Rangers.
Yeah.
MBTV MBTV Enneagram Rangers. Oh, that's good stuff. So, what is that? What does that even mean? I'm not good with
MB.
MB. Oh man, I think do it again really quick. I thought it was backwards. Yeah, it's backwards for me, so you're gonna have to do it the other way. Can you do that? That looks like BM. Wait, did I get it wrong the first time? No, I swear to God it was wrong the first time. All right, whatever. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to check that out,
okay.
Blake, can you go ahead and put in the link in the chat so that people can find that, and then we'll eventually put it in the description as well. But if you guys are interested in buying one of those shirts, and just check out our selection, even if you're not going to buy some, just go ahead and check out our selection. You might like some of it. We even have I believe we have a MBTV coach hoodie on there. So if you guys are interested in MBTV stuff to rep the game, because look, guys, I mean, we love you guys. We love having you guys on here. I mean, honestly, YouTube has provided something for me that I've never found anywhere else. And I appreciate every one of you. But like, honestly, we need to get moving. We need people to know about MBTV. And I think that a lot of you, you go home and after life and everything, you just sit down and watch the videos and stuff. And I'm so glad that you guys watch our videos, but you got to share with your friends. If you find some kind of good content from us and you think that other people would like this content, like if you guys like this content, you probably already know that other people will like it as well. So if you guys can, just go ahead and share it with your friends. Go ahead and check out that merchandise. And if you know someone who likes really gothic stuff, send them that dark alternative Enneagram shirt. They'll probably buy it, and I'm gonna buy it because it looks really cool. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah, nerd edgy.
Blake went ahead and put the link in the description. If you guys want to check out Slack, it's in the link in the description. The link is in the description, sorry. And you go ahead and click that, sign up, and you can continue this discussion there. You can private message me if you're interested or anything like that. So thank you guys once again for watching. Ciao.